All right, ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling the career of a heavyweight boxer making some serious noise, Martin Bakol, all the way from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, he's not just making noise, he's climbing the ranks.
And how about this? The WBA has him ranked as their #1 heavyweight contender.
As of January 2024, that's right.
#1. What does that even mean for those of us who don't follow boxing super closely?
Okay, so the WBA, that's the World Boxing Association, one of the big dogs, the oldest, most respected organizations in the sport. And being their #1 contender, well, it means you're basically next in line for a shot at the world title.
The title? Whoa, okay, so we're talking about a potential world champion here.
Potentially, yeah, he's definitely in the mix.
All right, let's backtrack a bit.
Sure.
Bakol starts his professional journey back in 2014, right?
Yeah.
What are those early years even like for a young fighter?
It's like anything else, you got to pay your dues.
Climb the ladder.
Exactly. Those early fights, they're all about building up a solid record, getting that experience in the ring, proving you can hang.
And Bakol, he does just that.
Oh, yeah.
Undefeated streak right out of the gate.
Impressive.
Picks up his first title, the IBO Continental Heavyweight title.
A regional championship, a stepping stone, you could say.
What does that mean? Stepping stone.
So think of these regional titles as like proving grounds, you know? It's a chance for fighters to test themselves, get some recognition, work their way up to those big world title fights.
So you got to conquer your region before taking on the world.
Pretty much.
And in those early fights, you can see the guy's got power, right?
Oh, from the beginning, that knockout power was evident.
But he was a problem for anybody he stepped in the ring with.
Absolutely.
But then there's the Michael Hunter fight, right?
Right.
Bakol's first professional loss.
It happens.
But even though it's a loss, man, the sources make it sound like an absolute war.
Oh, it was a brawl, no doubt about it. And you're talking about Michael Hunter here. This isn't some scrub.
Yeah, what's the deal with Hunter?
Former Olympian, went on to challenge for world titles at cruiserweight even.
So, a legitimate opponent.
Top-tier competition, absolutely.
The sources, they talk about how the fight goes back and forth in those early rounds. But then, like round 7, Bakol really starts landing some bombs.
He did.
Hunter's hurt.
Yeah, you could see it.
Even for a moment there.
Bakol, though, he's got that chin. He could take it.
But then, later in the fight, it sounds like Bakol injures his shoulder.
Tough break.
That definitely seemed to slow him down in those later rounds.
Yeah, but even with that bum shoulder, he goes the distance with Hunter, which is saying something.
Going the distance, that means what, finishing the whole fight?
All the rounds, yep, no quitting Bakol.
So even in a loss, he's showing that heart, that grit.
Oh, yeah, and most importantly, he's gaining invaluable experience against a world-class opponent.
Learning from the best, even in defeat.
Absolutely. Sometimes you learn more from a loss than a win, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
So this Hunter fight, crucial moment in Bakol's development as a fighter.
Couldn't agree more. And that loss, it didn't derail him, not even a little bit.
Right, because after Hunter, he goes on a tear.
Oh, yeah, he doubles down, starts racking up the wins.
Like the Marius Watch fight, for example.
That's a big one, not just another win on the record.
Yeah, he's a veteran, right?
Yeah.
Fought some big names, even challenged for a world title at one point.
Exactly, and shared the ring with Vladimir Klitschko, which tells you something right there.
It's wild to me. It seems like Bakol's team is intentionally putting him in these tough spots.
Smart strategy, though. Gotta test him, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Can't just be fighting guys you know you can beat, especially early on.
Gotta learn, gotta adapt.
And when you're facing someone like Watch, who's been in there with the best, man, that's a real measuring stick right there.
A win like that gotta do wonders for your confidence, too.
No doubt. Proves you belong at that top level.
Okay, so he beats Watch, and then right after that, he knocks out Kevin Johnson.
Another statement win.
Johnson, he's like one of those journeyman fighters, right? I've definitely heard the name, but
Yeah, journeyman's a good way to put it.
he's faced everybody, hasn't he?
Fought the best, often going the distance with some absolute legends.
And Bakol stops him. That's got to turn some heads.
Absolutely. Johnson's only been stopped a handful of times in his entire career, you know? And we're talking about a guy who shared the ring with the Klitschko brothers, Tyson Fury, some of the biggest punchers the sport's ever seen.
Okay, so the power is legit.
Oh, yeah, no question about
So
it.
you're seeing this progression, right? He's fighting tougher and tougher opponents, getting these impressive wins.
Building that resume step by step.
And then comes the Tony Yoka fight.
Now, that one, that felt different.
How so?
Yoka, he was undefeated going into that fight, Olympic gold medalist. Everyone had him pegged for greatness.
The next big thing.
Exactly. The favorite, the rising star, all of that.
And Bakol hands him his first loss.
Decision victory, but a win's a win at that level.
No doubt. And after that fight, it felt like people really started to see Bakol as a true contender, not just a prospect.
Oh, absolutely. Beating a guy like Yoka, that's a statement, puts you on the map.
Okay, but then the Jared Anderson fight.
Now we're talking.
This was a clash of styles, two undefeated prospects, tons of hype.
Everyone wanted to see that fight.
And Bakol just silences the doubters in a big way.
5th round TKO. Anderson had never even been knocked down before.
Wow, just dominated him.
Didn't just win, he made a statement.
Picks up the WBO International and vacant WBO NABO heavyweight titles.
Those are some serious belts right there. You start winning those, you're knocking on the door of a world title shot.
WBO, that's another one of the big organizations like the WBA.
Yep, one of the 4 major sanctioning bodies in boxing. Definitely a big deal.
Okay, so we've talked about the wins, the knockouts, but what about Bakol's style in the ring? What kind of fighter are we dealing with here?
At his core, the guy's a power puncher, plain and simple.
Yeah, you can see it.
The way he throws those punches, man, they're explosive.
But there's got to be more to it than just power, right? I mean, you don't reach this level just by being a big puncher.
You're right, and that's the thing with Bakol. He's not just a one-trick pony. He's not just trying to take your head off with every shot.
So there's strategy involved.
Oh, yeah. As he's gained experience, he's become a more well-rounded fighter, more patient, more calculated.
He's not just trying to end the fight with every punch.
He can, but he's also shown he can box strategically, break opponents down, mix it up.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that adaptability, that's crucial as you climb the ranks because you're going to face all kinds of styles. You got to be able to adjust.
You got to be able to adjust. Yeah, it makes sense. So we've got this incredibly powerful fighter who's also smart and adaptable in the ring. And on top of that, he's got those impressive wins, like that knockout against Anderson. And he's the WBA's #1 contender. So the question is, when are we going to see Martin Bakol fighting for a world title?
That's the million-dollar question, right? You figure with a #1 ranking, a title shot's got to be right around the corner. But boxing, it's not always that simple.
Yeah, there's always got to be more to it.
It's a business at the end of the day.
Right, got to sell those pay-per-views.
Exactly. Got to make those big money fights happen.
So it's not just about who you can beat.
It's about who you can draw in, who people want to see you fight.
Fascinating.
A lot of factors at play, you know.
I'm sure.
Who's the current champion? Are they tied up in other deals? Is there a bigger fight out there? Sometimes those title shots, they don't come easy, even when you've earned it.
It's like they say, right? It's not always about who you can beat. It's about who you can make money with.
Sadly, that's the truth of it.
Wild.
But here's the thing. Those recent performances from Bakol, especially that Anderson win, they've put the whole division on notice.
Oh, yeah.
He's a problem, and people know it.
Love it. Yeah.
He's not just some name on a list anymore. He's a legit threat.
I think some promoters are already trying to make that big money fight happen.
Oh, you know they are.
Exciting stuff.
And when that title shot does come, because I think it will, it's going to be must-see TV.
No doubt.
The guy's electric.
All right, so to wrap things up, what's your take on Bakol's future? Can he climb that final mountain and become a world champion?
He's got the tools, that's for sure. Power, determination, heart. He's proven he can hang with the best.
Definitely.
And he's still learning, still evolving.
That's scary.
If he can keep this momentum going, stay patient, wait for his shot, I think Martin Bakol has all the makings of a world champion.
Well, there you have it. From his early days climbing the ranks to becoming the WBA's #1 contender, Martin Bakol, what a journey.
What a story.
It's been a pleasure taking a deep dive into his career, exploring his rise, those impressive victories, his fighting style, and what the future holds for this exciting young contender. It all comes down to this. Can he become a world champion?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
But it's going to be fun to watch.
That's for sure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.